So we're live. Hello. Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome, Frugal Mama of Boys.
Hi, everybody.
Let me get connected here.
Hi,
Happy Sunday.
Hi. Happy Sunday. Yes, it's a great day to be alive.
Never been on a Sunday. I'm gonna get tired of saying never did this, never did that. But
okay. Best time to do it.
Let's see. Latanya, Yvette, hey. Simply You Makeup, Celestial, AB Tarot, hey.
Happy Celestial, hello.
Congrats, AB, on 1K.
Congratulations. That is so fantastic.
She swooped down like an eagle and grabbed them all up.
Get them. The shooter needs some of you in their life. Everybody.
Hey, Allie. So I'm bringing up my computer so that I can reference my stuff and check the chat, make sure I don't miss anybody. If you have the YouTube open, Frugal Mama, just put it on low so we don't get any feedback.
Boom.
Good morning, beautiful lady, says AB, because she is in Pacific time.
Hello.
And I am not. I'm in Eastern, so it is 3 p.m. Hey, Jennifer, Amethyst Winters.
Amethyst. I love amethyst. Oh my gosh. I love amethyst. Look at this beautiful amethyst. Oh my goodness. I love me some amethyst. I love it. I need to check out.
Beautiful piece.
Oh, it is. And it's so precious to me. I love it.
I have one that's like this big.
I have more. Yeah. That's just one of my favorite amethysts. That's beautiful.
Hey, Vanessa. Vanessa Beauty's here.
Hi, Vanessa.
Oh, you just had a late breakfast? Oh, so I made this. I made a latte. It is because I took out my espresso barista machine. So I had to clean it. Video coming
good.
soon. Oh, Little Makeup Channel. Hi, Buggy Mom's Tammy. I love amethyst. So beautiful, right? Purple is just bomb. So in February is amethyst month. So if you didn't know, now you know.
Now you know. Look, putting us on some game. Always.
And then I'm purple everywhere. Okay, so I made 2 shots of espresso, and then I mixed matcha chai something in there.
You're gonna be bouncing off the walls. You're gonna be like Frugal Mama.
I know. I need some of that
energy. In 5 minutes.
Organic though. I need that energy. I had a chance to pass by your channel. Yeah, so motivating. Love your energy, says Vanessa. Amethyst Winter says yes, it is purple. It's my birthstone. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And Vanessa, I saw you on Instagram. I got a chance to stop through, but I was sliding in somewhere else. And I was like, oh, I see her on live on Instagram. That's fantastic. I love being connected.
Right. So me and Frugal Mama are here doing our 23andMe. We already did our 23andMe, but we got the results. So we're going to share our DNA stories, Ancestry, and hey, boss lady Denise, I made some hot chocolate syrup and my sugar for chocolate milk. Ooh, that's nice. So that's the theme of today's show. Inspirational by Marie. Hi.
Hi, Marie.
Vanessa, matcha chai, Frugal Mama energy. Yeah, I know. Just put it all in one.
Yes. Great balls of fire.
If you haven't checked out Frugal Mama of Boys, please do go check her out. She's also my featured channel till we get those numbers going, because she's got the energy, she's got the motivation, she is amazing. I'm nosy, give me the goods. Yep, so we're going to talk about the 23andMe. So let's just do some details while everybody pops in because it usually takes like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We got 11 people in the house, 15 thumbs
Thanks,
up.
everybody. Woo-hoo. Hey, Tammy, I just want to say that I did my lashes for the very first time ever today by myself because I told you the other day that I was going to try, and I did. And I think I did a pretty good job. As long as they hold on through this live stream, I should be great.
Yeah. They look great too.
Thank you.
I love it.
But I can't see with not without my glasses, so you might not see them again for the whole rest of the live. Okay, so
wait, hold on, I missed something. Oh, Buggy's mama is dropping links. Simply You make, thank you, Tammy. Simply You, I'm excited to hear this. Me too. I'm always excited.
Me too.
Looking
I think
good,
that's why
sis.
we get along so well.
That's what Denise said, looking good. And then
thank you.
Tammy said, woohoo, looking good. Oh, that was Boss Lady Denise. You dropped her link. Awesome. Okay. So 23andMe is an Ancestry DNA kit. The base price is $99. However, when I got mine, it was $60. But that was years ago. So that's just the base kit. If you want health and ancestry traits, family tree, the price goes up to like $199. And that will get you, and this is not sponsored, so please don't believe. Hi, Miriam, before I forget somebody.
Thank you.
My friend says, she loves your lashes. Thank you. I'm loving the Afro pick earrings. How can we get a pair? Woo!
My girlfriend Jeanette does custom jewelry, and that's why I love a good custom piece, like from a boutique or whatever. And I really want to support more people because it just stands out. And she made them with me in mind because I always like rocking the afro, and yeah, and just and so yeah, I don't know how to say how to channel, but it's Jeanette. That's all I can tell you. Oh. I'm always posting stuff from on her channel.
If we find the link, I'll post it in my description box, so y'all can check her out, whoever's interested. Yeah, I do like to support small businesses myself, and they are really cute. Let's see. This is so interesting. I'm getting terribly dyslexic right now. Interesting answer. Yeah, Ancestry DNA. So
yeah, you go ahead and do all of that, and then you can come back and recap on the thing so you don't get sidetracked. Because you have, we want to hear, we know you're a nurse and bossed up, so we want to hear exactly.
Bossed up.
Yeah, that's right, girl. I'm telling you, I don't hang out with no suckers. Y'all my girl. Okay, go ahead.
So, they have 20% coupons too. Like Groupon will throw it out there, but there are other ancestry kits like Ancestry DNA, I believe. And I pulled up a website just to give other My Heritage DNA. They're the cheapest I seen was $59. And I think theirs is just a base. It says a cheek swab. You get yours in 3 to 4 weeks. Mine was spit into a tiny little cup like this, and you couldn't brush your teeth. You couldn't fart. You had to just wake up and spit in a cup, and it was like.
I was like, I didn't know it was this hard to get spit out. Like, I was spit when I needed it. It was you can't drink water for like 15 minutes before you.
Yep. And then, hey, Sylvia. And then you send out the little sample, and it's like in a little pack, and then you put it in a different thing, and then you put it in this bigger box, and then you send it out. And mine was probably like 2 weeks back then because it wasn't even popular, maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So My Heritage DNA does it. Ancestry.com, they do it. Living DNA, Find My Past. I mean, the list goes on and on. And they have ratings online. to see who's the best. But it's all basic. They all start at $99. My DNA was used in medical research. I bet, Celestial, because you have MS, if I'm not mistaken. Amethyst, Denise got you. Oh, okay, awesome. Grab each other up. I don't care. Let's link up, support each other, because this DNA thing has a lot to do with that too. That's why we're doing this. Because we all have more in common than we don't.
Yes.
So those are the specs. Let's see. So I did the basic package back in the day, which was just Ancestry and composition, where you're from. Essentially, it breaks it down per country, per region, per group. Can't wait to hear all about it. So, and the reason I did mine, so everybody has their own reasons. Mine is because I'm biracial. My mom is African American and my dad is white. And I heard tons of stories, and basically from my dad's side, he said that we were Irish, and from my mom's side said we were Native American and Black. So growing up, being biracial at that time, it was not that popular. I guess I can't wait. It was used for congenital cataracts. That's right, Celestial. You have that too. Okay, thank you, Tammy. Hey, Dana. Okay, so I probably met like 3 people from elementary school to high school that were biracial, which is just insane because now you can see it way more than before. So I grew up being with my mom, not my dad. And she just, I just learned the Black culture essentially. So it was always interesting to me. I knew my dad and I knew my sisters and brothers, but I didn't grow up with them. So I wanted to know, like, how is it that my sister and I look so similar and we have different moms? And my DNA explained why. So, yeah. And Irish people tend to have really strong genes. They're usually phenomenal about their red carrot-like hair, and it's very coarse and curly, and they're potato-loving people.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, because I have my friend Leah. Shout out to Leah Love. She's my only Irish that lives in Ireland friend, and anyone that visits. Oh, okay. So I was just curious to know, like, what was the breakdown? Like, why do I look the way that I look versus other biracial people that I knew? So I actually
found it fascinating.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, and it is. And being biracial is just a whole nother thing altogether.
We need to have a whole nother conversation about that. Okay, so tell us more. I want to hear all of it. We'll talk about me later because yours is.
No, I wanted you to go first.
No, I mean, we already in the groove. It's good. It's gravy. I'm loving it.
Dang it. I put myself out there. Okay, so when you pull up, when you get your results, you'll get a link in the email. I'm surprised I can even remember this. And you'll have to like sign up and do your whole profile, first, last name. I doubt I'm anything. Yeah, I'm pretty much a mutt, and we'll get into it. We will get into it. So I had to create a profile, and kind of like I wanted to be vague. I didn't want to be like, oh, I was born in blah 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 at such and such time at this hospital. So it'll look like this. Let me just show you my computer here, and this is my little wheel. So you guys see the minus the ring light. This BM, that's me. So the purple, the reds, the blues, those are all the different regions of the countries. Would it be better if I just face the camera? But so The blues, let me get in here. The blue side is all European.
Mm-hmm.
And the purple and the pink is Black or African descent. That's usually how that breaks down. So, and it breaks down into percentages. You're killing me. Spill the I'm trying to get them 15 minutes in. Okay, so and then it'll pull up a report. And so I'm pulling up the report. And as time has gone on and more people have poured into 23andMe, you get more relatives that sign up that share some of your DNA, which will break it down even further because they pull a different gene than just me by myself. So while I may come from, I was born in Massachusetts, many people with my last name were also migrated from Ireland and British Isles or whatever to the Boston area. And my mom's side of the family is from down south, Alabama. So there was obviously a stretch of land that they covered. Okay, so back when I did this, and I probably have pictures, but back when I did my thing, the total percentage was 99 back then. Now it's 100. So it's fully complete. And you can see you can see all the countries and continents that it incorporates. So if it's white or gray, I don't have any DNA from there. So all of this, North America, South America, those are typically related to indigenous tribes. If it's yellow, it's more you're American. If it's orange, it's more native.
Look at mine. Oh, look at my little map. Boy, it's isolated like a son of a gun. Boy, look at that.
Yes, look at that. Look at that. But you got some blue there. You got some blue.
I know. Know what that's all about.
Yep. You see. You see how you have the purple and the pink.
Yeah.
And then the blues.
Wow.
That's right. Simply you. I'm almost exactly half and half. So my European side came back 53.7%, and my sub-Saharan African came back 44.4%. And both of those categories break down further and further and further. Now, originally, I didn't do this because I wanted to prove something or get some sort of card for being whiter or blacker or whatever. Because and being biracial puts you in I'm missing the whole continent of Australia too. Being biracial puts you in a weird category because you're not white enough and you're not black enough, and not that this really helps me be more of one thing, but yes, we definitely are Simply You makeup. We definitely are a mix of a lot of things. So you guys can see, oh, I hate this freaking angle right here, this orange. So that's clearly Asia. And then it goes down further into like Thailand where it gets more orangey, which was surprising to me. Like, I didn't think I was Asian at all, you know? But the region of sub-Saharan African, sub-Saharan, I keep saying that, is more towards the middle, like equator line of Africa and below. So when you think sub-Saharan, you're thinking West Africa, you're thinking Nigeria. I'm naming off the stuff that I have. I love that water bottle. I want it. Oh, that you have.
Yes, this one. Oh my goodness. It's a link in the description. Take not to this one. Go to my channel. It's a link in all of them most of the time because I love this. This is where I get my water in. And it has really helped my son to tell time even better. He'd be like, "Mama, what time is it?" Okay, it looks like it's 2:00, but your bottle says 11.
Yeah. So you need to get that 11 o'clock.
Okay, I need to like, okay, he is right though.
And everybody should probably have that water jug just because we should all be hydrated that much. Thank you, Tammy. Like I said, in the beginning, this didn't show all these subtypes. And I think in the beginning it was mostly just West African, but now I can see that there's Congolese, there's Angolian, there's Senegabian, Ghanaian, Liberian. Like, just the percentages are crazy too. So when you look at percentages, and I explained this to my fiance too because I made him do it, but I'm sure he doesn't want me to talk about his stuff on here. When you look at percentages, the percentages are usually related to concentration in that specific area for a specific time. And I'm not here to teach history class, but the longer a group of people stay in a certain population, those colors, purple, green, orange, yellow, become more concentrated because you've been there for a period of time, so that the DNA is pretty well concentrated in that area. So I have the pinks and I have the purples, and purple is obviously darker. So that means that group was there longer before they moved over to a different spot. And when I originally checked for Native American, it was mostly because my grandmother told me that she was half Native and half Black. So she had spoke about getting some college tuition or whatever, because she said she was Native American. And when I did my DNA, I was like, what? Because then it said 0.7.
You almost made me spit this out. I'm like, what?
I know, hold on. And now that I'm looking at it, it actually says 1.2%. If you can see, but that breaks down even further because it's East Asian and Native American, because you have to remember that we have North and South Americas, so we have to combine them really, because they were a one group that moved over time. So the Native part is the yellow, which, as I said, was the more American. So the continent of North and South America, and that says 0.8%. And the Chinese, so I guess I can claim I'm Chinese now.
I can claim I'm Chinese. Chinese.
The only thing I don't think
Chinese on mine. You know why? Because everything was interconnected. So people intermingled as everything started to spread out. So we, like you said, we're more alike than we are different. Like we all have little traces. If you think about it, okay. It says, well, let me go and let you finish, because I'm
gonna wrap it up real quick.
No, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Thanks, Marie. Celestial said, I don't have Australian, so I can't claim that. But so okay, I talked about the African. So the European side is Northwest Europe, which is the British Isles and part of Western Europe. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. It's terrible. That matcha is like.
I know, right? I told you.
Okay, so French and German, which, like I said, my dad told me we were just Irish. And if you've been to Boston, it's just Irish town. So French and German, 25.5%. British and Irish, 20.1%, which includes the United Kingdom. So that whole whatever. And then Eastern Europe, which is, like France and Spain and things like that. And Southern Europe is less. It's like 5% or less, not even touching it. I think I have a piece of the Italian boot on there. But the breakdown is so interesting because mine can go back to at least 7 generations. Is that it? 7 generations. So Yeah.
Keep on. Okay, so did you do the health screening as well, or just the DNA?
Let me just check, because when I did it, and I just logged in the other day, especially towards East Africa. What's East Africa? You probably are. East. Yeah, the whole most North Africa, I don't have anything. Like those top countries up there, I don't have anything. But right underneath it and the rest of the continent, I totally have. But it's minimal when you talk about the Italian or Turkish or those countries. I barely have anything there, Miriam. So the health highlights, I didn't really go in. It just went to like health predispositions, like, do I like coffee, or do I like to wake up early in the morning type thing. Remember, at one point, everything was attached to Africa. We should not. Yeah. And I tell my kids that all the time. The one massive land used to be called Pangea. And when it broke off, I mean, the main continent was Africa. And that's why the migration happened more. She said, I'm scared I'm going to come back 100% Polish.
Hold on 1 second.
So I didn't really go into the health aspect. And I guess I'll tell you why. When I was like 33 or 34, I had genetic screenings and things because I wanted to have more children. And long story short, the only diseases that I wanted to care about was the ones that are genetically passed on. And that came back with nothing, which the doctors were like, woo, you got some crazy genetics that I wouldn't be able to pass on any genetic information, which is amazing. I was happy to hear that. So there are health reports in here that you can pull up, health traits that you can pull up. Like there's a health predisposition, carrier status, wellness. And you have to put in some of the information. I'm planning to do ancestry test myself. Oh, that's great, Miriam. Hey, Dana, what's up? So those are like questions that I would have had to answer and get a feedback. You are so funny. Okay. You are lucky. Yeah, I know. Really, when you're planning to have kids, hi, Diane, later in life, they do recommend that you get genetic profiling done. Or screenings. And when I did that, of course, the doctor was like on the floor and he was like, can we talk about donating some eggs? And I was like, no. No, because having no genetic predispositions is kind of rare. My grandmother suffered from MS.
Very rare, because I came up with some genetic predispositions. So. Yeah,
and they're scary once you know about them.
I feel empowered though. You know, I feel like now that I know, I can combat it. You know, like I can do things to work toward minimizing the effects of them.
That's really true. I can't have kids. I think for me, it was a blessing in disguise because of genetics. Oh, well, there's a bright side to that, Dana. Thank you for sharing that.
And you know what? A lot of times when people who cannot have children, meaning they make a big impact in other ways, you know, because at one time I felt like I wasn't going to, and I had children later in life. I was like a week before 38 before I had my first son, and that time and a long time ago, this lady that I worked with, her name, I'm sorry, my hand's dry. I need some lotion. But this lady told me, her name is Miss Selsa, older lady. It's important to listen to our elders, because she said, you know, she gave me a verse on the Bible written on a little piece of paper, and I still have it. I carried it in my notebook. I mean, in my wallet. And it said, you know, some people weren't meant to have children, or it may not be the time. But while whatever stage of life you're at, just make the best of it. I mean, like, make an impact the way that you're supposed to impact right now. And if you believe in that you have a divine purpose in life, everything will come together in the way it's supposed to be. Because we always want to do and think that everything is supposed to operate on our time. But if there's a divine plan, then, you know, we have to relax and go into slow-mo mode. Because, you know, like after a while, you kind of understand that. Well, I did, but you know what I mean.
Oh,
I went off on a tangent.
No, it's okay. And sometimes we don't even know about it, and we pass on things to our kids that we didn't even know. Hey, Tyrone.
We passing on some stuff that we know about and still be passing it on. We like, oh, right? Yes. I was like, oh my goodness.
So if any of my kids develop something, it ain't because of me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, because I'm perfect. I'm a model.
I'm kidding.
We know.
But yeah, sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to either in life. You know, before I had kids, I always thought, oh, I'm never going to have kids because that's something I really, really wanted. And I got 4. So if I have more, great. But, you know, I just kept testing it, you know, like, I ain't supposed to have no more. Let's go.
You think that if you don't think that anything is possible or whatever is supposed to be for you is for you, you go around being miserable because you know, like, oh man, you know, it can be very depressing. It can be very you know, like mind-boggling. But you know, it's just like have a positive outlook, and whatever's for you is for you, and just keep on moving forward one day at a time. Because you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing about the past. All you can do is just keep on moving forward, enjoying right now. So that being said, let me tell y'all about this kind of DNA that I was doing. I was like, okay, so my motivation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Oh, you want to catch up on the chat before we move on?
No, I'm reading. Bethany needs Bethany needs a sibling. You have it always. she's funny. No, I'm curious to hear yours too. So go ahead. Hey, Jackie.
All right, I'm getting back on topic. Okay, so my motivation for doing it was because I was more interested in the health screening. Like you looking at my DNA to see if I'm predisposed to any medical factors. And I think the main 3, I mean, you know, were that they discovered was Alzheimer's, but it's late onset. And I kind of, you know, and kind of anticipated that for a little bit, but now, I mean, you know, you have to, I feel like I need to fuel my body with more nutritious things to kind of keep my mind. And it makes it more important instead of just, I want to lose weight. Because I started my channel like chronicling how I want to lose weight, 30 pounds in 60 days. And I said, over that time, it became so much more to me. It became in there as the pandemic was really like popping off in May. I started my channel May 31st, and I started trying to lose weight. And I was like, because I would be on the ground with my kids and could not get up. No. And like my back would lock up. I have bad disc. And I said, oh no, this is not how I want to live. So I said, okay, am I predisposed to anything? Would there be anything that would hinder me from losing weight? Am I healthy? And so I did, you know, the whole physical with the doctor, these extended tests. I mean, like blood tests from the blood test, you know, like all these things. And then in addition to like really knowing, okay, what am I like made of? What is my DNA? What does that consist of? And how does that affect who I am? You know, and I found it fascinating because I like very bright colors, yellows, and it's like the colors of Africa. Like I know specifically that I am primarily now 26.8% Nigerian. And like, I mean, like that is the biggest chunk of, you know,
Africa.
Not mixing anything. And then you look at all these beautiful fabrics of Africa.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Look at that. I just brought up the Nigerian one.
I love it.
Which is crazy because you mentioned colors and I love color.
Love it. And so excuse me, just getting to know that, and like 32%, you know, same kind of thing, because you know, the slave trade or whatever, but you have the look at these, some of these beautiful places. Now I have aspiration on places I really want to go see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah?
Like,
Where's that?
That is, it's Earthing Mosque of the what's some, you know, I can't be pronouncing all this stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Read it.
I can't really see. It's blurry.
Oh, dog it. But anyway, it's probably in yours as well. But
it could be.
And then some of the things that we like to eat. You know what? Don't be afraid of it. Do something about it. Let it empower you, that knowing that, because it, you know, it is, because it is what it's going to be. You have, you know, at that point, you know, don't be afraid. Use it as fuel for making it great. I've said, but you know, we're a work in progress every day. Sometimes I feel, I have all the hope in the world. And be like, okay, well, shoot.
Yeah.
They drive that dog crazy, girl. We a dog sitting there. Them dogs go in their cage. They be so nerved up.
Oh shoot, they're scared.
They're like, good.
No. So while you were saying that, thank you, Tammy. If you didn't hear me, while you were saying like the colors and the food that you eat, and you know, kind of just the way that you are, also makes you curious about like, oh, where did that come from? Or, oh, you know, why do I like this? Because each of us are different, and we do have some similarities. Like,
and you know what? It's so funny because my mom has 3 children, and so we're all very different. And it's like, okay, I believe, like, you know, I'm like, okay, just my sister has very bad headaches, and I'm always trying to say, okay, you know, you've seen the neurologist, you've seen all this. I said, just calm your mind. Calm your mind. It's something that is driving that. Maybe you can get in tune. It's something, you know, with a holistic doctor, and they be like, oh, okay, I'm okay. I mean, they were like, you know, I be like, hold this crystal. They be like, what?
I know.
Who are you? I'm like, they be like, do you still believe in Jesus Christ? I'll be like, yes, I believe in Jesus. I be like, why? Because I don't understand why is it you can believe in, you know, energy, the earth, energies of the earth, and you can also believe in Jesus Christ or whoever else you want to believe in.
Well, I also, and I don't really get into religion here, but there's a difference between religious or religion and being religious, and spirituality and being spiritual, and they can also interweave and connect at the same time. I do want to say about Nigerian culture that I have learned over time, which is the westernmost part of Africa. It's like that little whoop right there. So a lot of the slaves that they brought over, it's very important to stay in. Yes, Vanessa. A lot of the slaves that they brought over happened to be from that coast, which is obvious for the obvious reasons. When you come to a port like the port of, everybody goes on a cruise, Port Canaveral or Miami Port, it's right on the water. So that's where you're going to go, right? You're not going to go all the way in and grab somebody and, you know.
Exactly.
Hey, Teresa. So in Nigeria, they have what they call the Yoruba tribe, and I don't want to mess it up, but so their religion is a spirituality mixed Catholicism based. So they believe in orishas, which are kind of like deities or gods or goddesses. Mixed in with the saints of Catholicism, and it's a very interesting interconnection. So when they brought over the Nigerians, and most of them were of the Yoruba, they brought that to the western side of the Americas, because it's not just North America, the islands, the West Indies as they call them. The Spaniard colonies, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, and then all the way into South America. And that religion is very, very, very popular in Cuba. To this day, I mean, I haven't been to Cuba in years. When I went was 2013. I was changed. My whole life changed. And I felt that spiritual connection, and I'm getting the chills, but I cried, I felt it, and I had never felt any sort of connection anywhere. And the people of Cuba look like me. They're as dark can be, and light as light can be, and they all are one person. They do not see color, especially where I went in Havana. And the fact that their religion, their lifestyle, their spirituality is based on that Nigerian religion, the Yoruba tribe. All their music is mostly African derived. All their clothing, their style, their color, the way that they take care of their hair, the food that they eat is so still deeply involved with Nigeria. And you guys can go look it up. But as much as we dislike talking about Fidel Castro, he was extremely friendly with the African leaders, especially from Nigeria, because he himself, fun fact, is not Cuban. He is Spaniard. And his parents came to Cuba with him. But he was very friendly with the Africans, and coming together, and they came to Cuba. He went to Africa. And anyway, when you're there, you feel it. You hear the sounds of salsa and you think, oh, it's Spanish, right? No, it's from the Yoruba music. And when you hear the Yoruba tribes and their dialect, you can hear the Spanish in there too. And it was just crazy to me. So I got on the tangent, but while we were talking about Nigeria, a lot of that comes from there. So when you go to Puerto Rico, or you go to any Spanish island, or even Jamaica too, and you hear their music and you taste their food, you're thinking you're on a Spanish island, which, yes, they did conquer those islands. But the background, hey, Coffee and Chit Chat, comes from those West African countries. And the fact that Cuba embraces so heavily, I mean, heavily, everything is Africa, Africa, Africa. And I was just impressed, because I've been to Puerto Rico, and I've been to Cuba, and I've been to Jamaica, and I've been to these places. And no, I don't know everybody, but when you're there, it's different than, ooh, let me watch National Geographics.
Right.
So
being able to, yes, that's why I think being able to travel is important. Explore different cultures, because you more embrace. We could talk about acceptance, but I think once you able to embrace other cultures, you're able to just really truly grow and live more authentically yourself. Because
because there is a difference between embracing and acceptance, because I can accept you, but I don't have to embrace you. You know, that embrace is hugging, it's loving, it's nurturing, it's taking you in. Acceptance is more like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. You know, what a lot of people like to say, oh God, not it is what it is. Oh, to each his own, to each their own. No, it's not to each their own, until we like say, okay, you know, I embrace you just how, you know, who you are, as you are, who, whatever. And then we just go from there. You know, it's so, I mean, everything is kind of, even our thoughts are created kind of to be divisive at times if we allow them, you know. Okay, so it's just like whatever.
That's right, Dana. Dana said we are all different but the same. I love
the same. I think that's what I mean. Like, we saw very different paths, but we see a lot of similar in the same places. And you know, I believe a lot of people are untrusting of this, so a lot of information is limited because there's not a lot of people doing, oh, okay, they'll know more about me and this, that, and other. How do I know that they telling us the truth with 23andMe? Right. Well, you know, and it's a very personal choice, because, you know, you may not believe in the security of the whole thing. But for me, it was very, okay, I told you about the Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes. to be predisposed or have a predisposition to getting it. But like I said, that's where I'm becoming healthier, a mindset of living healthier, living a peace up in a place of wholeness. I have peace. You know how much peace lower your blood pressure? And half of this because I'll be talking to y'all every day at 6 a.m. in the morning during stars and stretching. I let out all that. If I want something, I just let it out. Because I was all in my past. I'm used to like holding everything in and showing how strong I am. No, you know what? I am strong, and I can also acknowledge my feelings about things, and I can release it. I don't have to hold on to those things, and I can still be strong at the same time. People think if I express my emotions, then I'm not as strong. No, that makes you even stronger. That empowers you to not give a flying flip. Boom.
Yeah, and you let it go.
Exactly, and it's out. It's out.
It is a culture shock, Celestial. Yeah. It is coming to this country, and like I was born here, but she said immigrating to America was a bit of a culture shock, and it is because most countries are not the same way that we happen to run the place. But let me show you the back of my shirt while we're talking about inner peace and calm. And what does it say? Create your own calm.
Yes. And I think that is important. And I think I'm discovering that, as you were saying about the different aspects of the spirituality. And I think that's a personal decision. So, people don't like to talk about it, but I think it's important to say it is okay to explore. And especially if you're already rooted into a core value and be open to accept, works for you. If it empowers you at the moment, who cares if it empowers you in the moment 10 years from now? It's right now. Because like I say, it's like people's like, oh, you can believe in XYZ, and then how do you know it's real? I don't know it's real. That's why it's called faith. Okay, consistent faith is belief in something that's not seen, and that is okay with me. Because what do I have to lose? What if I have to lose? Well, I have all to gain, in my opinion.
And stress will aggravate, like Celestial's saying, it aggravates her MS. Stress will technically kill you.
Yes.
So we have to learn as a people to let things go.
Yes. Go. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you,
head, shoulders,
the meditation. A lot of people don't meditate because they say they can't get in a relaxed state. Well, sit there longer. Just sit.
And sometimes that can be wherever you are. Hold on. That could be in your car. That could be while you're taking a shower. That could be while you giving the baby a bath, because sometimes I need my moment. Don't close your eyes while you're giving the baby a bath, though. Please don't do that. And don't say Bethany told you. Keep your eyes open and on the baby. But you can have your Zen moment, okay? Because you give them bubble bath. All them toys that I have over there, 25 of them, and they're zoned out, they're in their space, and while you looking at them, focus on the bubbles. Focus on the bubbles. Just remember when you used to take a bubble bath. That's relaxing right there. I might not be able to take a bubble bath, but I can just imagine how it feels.
Absolutely.
Because kids will take away some of your inner peace and inner calm. So you got to find it where you can. And if you don't have kids, like Dana said, she's got fur babies, and you can find Zen moments with them too. Take a walk, listen to, I know here in Florida, you can hear all kinds of nature sounds and never be judgmental of others. Yeah.
That's right.
And just sit on a bench somewhere. People watch for 15 minutes. Think about people you love, who are love. I know, Miriam. Sometimes the reflection on things and time and moments where it was nice or beautiful or whatever. If you don't have kids, come get mine. Coffee and chit chat. Yes. You can focus. Okay, when you're having a baby, if you've had a baby naturally, I've only done it once. The other 3 are C-section, so it was not a cop out, believe me, because they're both equally hard. They tell you when you are in labor, to focus on something, which is hard as to focus. But they tell you, look at a rose, imagine this, imagine that. You know why? Because it's a single item. And we all really should take time to do that during the day. But it's something that we used to teach in nursing and have really gotten away from it. And it's something as simple as, you know, bubble baths, candles, a book, just a few minutes.
Yes.
And you will thank yourself later.
Yes, definitely. I'm telling you, you need that moment. You need that moment. And it's like, okay, that's why the affirmations and everything is important. I'm like just do what works for you. But I think that knowing that makes me feel more comfortable in myself. That is a part of traditions and you know, just creating these things. So we just bringing that back to why do I want some of this good creamy coffee that I have on Sundays? Because that's the one day I drink creamer. But so.
So on the report, so you showed, you said 26%. I was supposed to write that down just because I wanted to ask a damn question. But you said 26% was African, and then yours breaks down even further, correct?
23% Nigerian. Wait a minute. Let me go back so I can. Here we go. Hold on. I knew I had these glasses. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah. You're so funny, coffee and chit chat. Mine are at the park, but I'm sure they'll be back. Jay's Way, Jules. Hey, how are you? Thanks for coming. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. And once this is over, go check out Frugal Mama of Boys, because she be doing this 5 days a week, and she just has the energy. But she be posting motivational and all kinds of resources 7 days a week. So please go hit her up.
Every day. Okay, here we go. So yeah, mine is West African, like 70. So, and then you see like the Nigerian is 26.8% strong all by itself, even though you have the Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leone. It's a combination of 32%. So I'm strong Nigerian, man. I stand with the Nigerians now. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, and it's so I'm just going to keep it real. Like, it is like there is like a difference between African and Black people. Like, it's like we have this divisiveness in here because it's like, okay, in our heads, it's like, okay, you have as being American born, you have all these opportunities, and they come with a lot of drive and ambition. And it's like, well, you getting a whole different experience than people who were, you know, descendants of Africa who have been here. And so it's like a whole different vibe for me, that I have seen and experienced between African descent. I mean, people of African who migrate here, you know, versus being born here. But I was like, okay, we connect, it's a lot of the same. And I think that being able to have conversations and being able to really absorb their culture, we can understand more, you know, and why it's so prideful and what they, you know, have gone through. And I think that I'm so thankful for social media, because we see it in a different light. Because you can before like the social media, all you see is commercials with insects around in Africa.
Oh, I know, right? And they walking around in little skirts and stuff.
Exactly. And it's such a different, I'm glad that we get another perception and a different look. And what I particularly like is, one day I was listening to Inspirational by Marie, and she said that this lady had like a room, you know, would typically be for their entire house is one room, and they still had Bible study. They had Bible, people come in and they share, and it's still like a community, even though they don't have a lot of space or a lot of things or a lot of this or a lot of that, but they still have that sense of self and love for one another. And I feel like that, like I always felt like that if if I can be of service or something, that's why a lot of times in the morning I talk about gratitude. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody. And I was like, and that's not, and living in the South, you don't see a lot. Everybody used to say, hey, it's getting less and less friendly.
Yeah.
And it's getting, and I think if we go back to focusing on loving each other and seeing the more we have in common with people, the more we can grow and the more we can establish things like build up communities. Like there's so many empty buildings. It's people who aspire to have like community thing. I think that's why I really have thankful for being exposed to people in the different, UK, everything like that. And it's just, like I said, it's not accepting, it is embracing, and it is allowing me to just be at more peace. And I appreciate that.
So I'm interested in the blue part that you have on there.
Yes, that would be
because we all just like how we all have some percentage of African, we all have some percentage of something else, because American is just one continent, North America and South America, and unless you're an indigenous tribe, we all come from somewhere else.
Right, exactly. So for that,
hey Jen, I'm sorry, and thank you Vanessa for coming. I appreciate it.
For that, I thank you. For that, I believe, I think during the slave trade would definitely attribute to that European.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Celestial said, on my first visit to an U.S. Immigration office, I was questioned as why I was there because they were processing so many people from Mexico. Oh goodness. Hey Maura.
Okay. Yeah. So. Hold on, I'm gonna check on see what's going on. Be right back.
Okay, so we're still talking about 23andMe. I did mine a few years ago, like 6 years ago probably, and Frugal Mama of Boys did hers, and we thought this would be such a great topic to discuss, because while we all are different, we are so much more alike. So we've already figured out that we have some similarities as far as Nigeria. Let's see. Did they think you were Mexican? They probably could have. For Celestial, coffee and chit chat. My father and mother are both mixed. Therefore, I have no choice but to embrace all cultures. I'd love to find out what the percentages of each. Yeah, coffee and chit chat. I mean, going back to what I was saying, I'm not biracial, and it's not so much of the percentages. It's kind of like when you look at your kids, right? And you're like, well, dang, how come he looks like that and she looks like that? And it is percentages at that point, because we all get, okay, that's why it's called 23andMe. We all get 23 over here and 23 over there, and the combination is what you get. So your siblings will probably have some similarities in your DNA because you share parents, at least one of them. I was taught to love everyone and respect everyone. Doesn't matter who we are, what color. Love is powerful. Love is powerful. And I respect everyone. That's awesome, Teresa. Thank you. And like my composition is way different than my sister, but I have no like full siblings because I'm the only one of my mom and dad. But I have brother and sister on my mom's side, and I have brother and sister on my dad's side. And like I said, my sister and I look almost, even our kids, her daughter and my daughter looked like twins when they were younger.
Wow. So yeah, that's from the UK and Ireland, basically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that, of course,
because those were the majority of, and those were other slaves too, the Irish that were brought here. The poorer Irish were brought here to help, so to speak. So of course, when you have people of the same sort of class, they start mixing and mingling and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Irish were horribly treated at one point too. Not as bad. But you know, they had their plight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think everybody has. We're not gonna even go there.
Okay.
Everybody's like, okay, and
I know. And my grandfather met my grandmother by working on a ship. He's French and she's Honduran and Filipino. Wow, nice coffee chit chat. Celestial, my passport is the same color as the American one, but obviously has a different coat of arms. Oh, okay, because the Australian one is the same. I know the Canadian one I think is red. That's great. Everyone should be taught that way. That's true, Miriam, to Teresa.
And that's why it's interesting. I think that's why these kind of conversations are important, because you know, if it really just points out that we are more alike than we are different, and no matter what the breakup is, we're still human race, and it's important to embrace versus being divisive or what have you.
Because if we all going back to the fear, I guess, of doing this test. If you were born in the United States, they already have all of your information. Unless you were born at home and you don't have a social security number or a birth certificate, they know you and they have your DNA. And from there, they can figure out who you are and what you are. So for me, hey, Terry, screw loose. For me, it was obviously voluntary. I paid for it. And I feel like the results are pretty accurate. I mean, probably more accurate than the storytelling that I got. Because my dad is, and I wish I had a picture. My dad is blonde as blonde can be. He's very fair skinned, what we call, I forget what you call him, but he burns horribly. He looks like a lobster when he is in the sun, and he wears them socks all the way up to his knees, and he has that horrible tan. But he loves being in the sun, so he'll turn red. And blue eyes, and he's just as white, you know, like when you see a white guy, that's him. And my mom is black, and you know, she looks like a black lady, right? And I don't look like either one. But then when I had my daughter, I had to laugh because she came out with black hair, pin straight, and green eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Called towhead. Okay, there you go. And I'm the only one, I meant to say. I'm the only one of my dad's children that does not have colored eyes. So I have brown eyes, and my brothers and sisters have green eyes. And it's just crazy. But so my daughter, she had black hair and green eyes. And I was like, oh, Lord, let her keep the green eyes. Yeah. You know, gone.
And brown.
Green eyes left, the black hair left, and it turned blonde. And I was like, who is this kid? Like, white hair. I mean, and then it started curling, and then it started curling even more. And I mean, it was just hilarious. So then I was like, well, I guess that is my dad. Because my dad used to always say, you know who your mom is, but you don't know who your dad is. And a lot of our ancestry is based off of the X chromosome, which is the woman. And as he said, you always know who your mom is because you came out the womb, but you never know who your dad is. So when they do DNA, it can only determine the half of you, which is the X, and that's consistent. And then unless you have both of your parents' DNA to like, what is it? Compare, then you'll never really, you can just guess that, oh, this must be, because I obviously know that the African side is my mom, and you know, but I'm sure my dad has a little something too, because he ain't just straight Irish. There's a lot of stuff that came up that he didn't mention, which also made it very funny to get these results.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's the downfall. So it's like, if you want to know more about specifics about your father, you need either your father or a male from his side of the family.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, I'm part of that clan. I ain't doing that stuff.
Coffee and Chit Chat said, "Oh my God, it's funny because when my husband and I went to the store, a lady stopped him saying that my daughter is pretty, and she asked where was her mom, and I was standing right there." Oh, so Coffee and Chit Chat. Okay, I wish I had a picture, like on me. One of my very, 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 very good friends. It's a long story, but we were friends, and she's biracial, and I got to tell this story one day because she was murdered by her husband, which goes into a different thing. But she was biracial, and her mom was or is Irish, and she looked a lot like me, my friend. She had curly hair, but of course her curls were a lot nicer and smoother, and she had what do you call it, freckles. And her dad is my brother's dad, so we actually sort of kind of related, but not really.
Yeah.
Because my brother has a different dad. But anyway, I grew up with her dad, and she didn't. I'm the only child of my dad, and I have 2 stepbrothers and 1 stepsister on my mom's side. Yeah, see, we all have something.
A lot going on.
So her kids, going back to Coffee and Chit Chat. So my friend looked like me, tan in the summertime, pale in the wintertime, and she had, you know, that. And anyway, she was married to a Mexican guy. Her kids, 2 of them blonde as blonde could be, and blue eyes. The other one has hazel eyes and brown hair. And they said that to her one time with her baby daughter, because we were pregnant at the same time, and her daughter was blonde and blue eyes. And they said that to her. They're like, "Oh, she's so cute. Where's her mom?" And she's like, "Yo, I'm getting tired of people asking me. That is my daughter." But the 2 of them, a Mexican guy and her, you would never think.
Respect the blonde.
But it was somewhere, you know?
That is the beautiful thing about genetics.
Yeah. And if she was still around, I'm sure she would have done the test, because we used to always have these biracial conversations and just talking.
So what did you so you were raised on Black culture. How do you say that? Right? Like around, like what kind of, because Boston, and I didn't realize this, is very diverse.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Like that's what I said. I like having the exposure to different places without even having to go there and kind of like see realness.
I love Boston, by the way, and I do love New York City. Not that they're the same, they're not. And Coffee and Chit Chat, one day I will have this conversation, but I'll have to have some sort of dry eye thing, because Lord, I probably couldn't handle it. But it is very good to share, because that is another subject that I would love to talk about. But Boston, to me, and because I grew up there, is more familial. Like you go there and you feel like embraced, because there aren't that many, just one singular group of people. There's a lot of diversity. There's major colleges. Obviously, Harvard is one of them. And I used to walk through Harvard every day to go to high school. And even my daughter, we just went there right before the pandemic hit, and she's like, "I'm moving here when I get out of high school." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "I just feel like this is home," and it is, because people are more I don't know, like there's to me, because if you go look it up, Boston was rated one of the most racist cities, and I don't know why, but there's a lot of colleges. There's a lot of Asian immigration that happens through Boston because of the colleges, like internships and what do they call that when they come over for college? Whatever that is, that they come over, international studies. But I just felt like all the friends that I had in Boston weren't like me at all. Like they were all different. Miriam said the blue eyes and blonde hair had to be in the Mexican family as well. Yeah. So it was funny because he used to say, oh, when I was younger, I had blonde hair. And I was like, yeah, right. But now that I know, there's a lot of, that's another conversation, British, Irish that came over to run away during the persecution of Catholicism back then. And a lot of them were Jews. And that's where you could see Canelo Alvarez. He's a famous boxer. He has red hair and blue eyes, and he's Mexican. Terry said, all of my family is white, but I believe that regardless of race, we are all one race, human. If someone is nice to me, I'll be nice to them. I don't judge anyone on skin. Personality is what counts. Thank you, Terry, because that is really what we should be embracing and teaching our children and any child. Hey, Tech Lit, thank you. Exchange students. There you go. I'm talking about something else, and my brain is like, no, we're going to focus on this. Thank you, Miriam. So I have like 1,001 stories, but to me, Boston is very family oriented. Like if you go to any event in Boston, it feels more comforting. And people are always outside and doing things and whatnot.
And what made me start looking more into Boston is, Jess Kaplan. She's
okay.
Yeah, she lived there. I don't know if she's from there. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, she's like speaking about diversity and everything. And I was like, okay, let me look at her. I was like, I can see how that could be because of the diversity of the schools again.
Yeah.
And so yeah. But I've also visited, like the Panama and Jamaica and of course Mexico. You right here. We're going to Mexico.
That's awesome. Oh, I know Mexico.
But it's like impressive. Like you say, my friend said this is where the sugar cane fields used to be. You start feeling like you feel like the spirit of the ancestors there. You can't because it's so you can't help but to because there's so much culture and ingrained now. You also get when you get pulled over by the policia. Well, how you say it? Policia, yeah. That's a strange, interesting process in both places. So yeah, I mean that's strange, but it's different.
Dana, yeah, I totally agree. Now, what trips it up just a little bit? So I do speak Spanish. I wouldn't say 100% because I'd be slaughtering some words, and that is weird because the person that babysat me, I guess, because back in the day people would hand off their kids to whoever. So I got handed off to some Spanish lady, and that was my first language. So as I grew up, I lost the Spanish, and then when I went back to school, like high school, you could take Spanish classes, and I just flew through them. I'm like, how is this so easy for me? And then I asked, and then she told me that. So that doesn't help.
But what's so interesting is like I think back in the day, everybody used to get passed out because of one of my coworkers. He's of a different descent, and he's like, yeah, they used to. I think it's Chinese. He said the baby inside of the bed or whatever, the couch, and the baby would just be sitting there. And she said it's all kind of techniques. They said everybody would bring their child to the same baby.
Yeah. Coffee and Chit Chat says her babysitter was Vietnamese too. And they be doing what they're used to doing. Yes, exactly. We are not the one to judge, but others. God who judges us, He loves us no matter what. Yes, Teresa, that is so true. Hey, Miss Nita Boo. And it is like back in the day. I mean, you couldn't try that now. DCF would come. You start passing off, and then you want to claim that kid on your taxes? No.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot going on there. But I think those stories are so very similar, even though it's a different culture. Once again, we're more alike than we are different,
Yeah. And I like when I had my kids, and I'm still like that because I'm OCD, but I like to do things my way, and my way is in envelopment of a whole bunch of things,
Yes, exactly.
Raise children back in the day. That's right. Simply You. I mean, I used to be out in the street. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And all I heard was, come in before it gets dark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
But,
why I can't live without eating rice. Oh shoot! She says she blames her Vietnamese babysitter because she can't live without eating rice. That's funny. So another culture, because my fiance is Peruvian, that I kind of adopted some of their stuff. You know how we wear the baby carriers?
Mm-hmm.
So this is not just specifically for Peru, because a lot of countries do it. A lot of countries, Belgium, Asia,
Yes.
Asian countries, and a lot of South American countries, they wear the baby carriers, but they make theirs out of the woven cloths.
Yeah.
I have one downstairs, but I'm not going downstairs. So anyway, I didn't get that. I got this long piece of fabric, and it's just one piece, and then you gotta like jump rope into it.
Yes.
And when I went to Peru, I seen these little Peruvian people just flinging the baby up on there, and then magically they tied the thing, and the baby was gone, like hidden into a sack. And I was like, how I gotta learn how to do this.
Yes.
And that was before I had my son. And when I had him, I was like, I am wearing one of those things. And believe me, I wore it every day.
I'm telling you, that's how I used to clean the house. And wrap that, just because you can't get anything. I could not get anything done otherwise. And then unclean house would have me going. Yeah.
Oh, nice, Celestia. But I get a lot of my habits from my mom's sister. Me and her are very similar. Ex-fiance, listen to Ricardo. Oh my God, you better quit playing. He threw me off. I didn't say nothing about you. I was talking about Peru. So me and my aunt are very OCD and clean. And when I go over to her house, she lives in Colorado, and I see the way she does stuff, I'm like, see, that's where I get it from. That's exactly where I get it from. Pouring bleach everywhere, and if it ain't bleached, it ain't clean to me.
Clean.
And I gotta smell it from down the street.
Okay. I know exactly. Like, I understand. And my sister, I thought I was bad. My sister, she's like, I don't know why y'all keep talking about it, because y'all already know this how I am. Like, she has to have everything wiped down. Everything wiped down.
Stay wiping.
She can't go to sleep with dishes in the sink. I'm like, man, I'm good with them dishes in the sink. I'm good on that part. I just pick and choose what I really focus on. Like my bathroom has to be clean. But just to kind of wrap up what we were talking about, I think doing the 23andMe really helped me identify, or kind of like really want to know more, and have different places to visit and see. And I think, like I said, I feel like traveling is important. When I didn't have children, I was out jet setting. But it's a little more difficult once you do have those. But I think it's important to get to really know and understand different cultures, because it allows you to embrace people as they are, and not focus on the differences that we all have.
So much, right?
So focus on the commonalities, because like 23andMe says, basically 150 to 200,000 years ago, we all came from this one lady.
Yeah.
In Africa. But I go, I'm just going by. I'm not a scientist or whatever, but I'm just telling you what they say. But
and it is like, we could really go into this even further and pick up where your haploid group is versus where mine is, and I'm sure. Hi, Life with Adrian. Thank you. I'm sure there would be some sort of similarity, or at least I know they like their H. There's so many letters that go with those groups, but you can't really just go back to one particular person. I'm on my own, so I don't have to worry about that.
Please, girlfriend,
what? A lot of hassle for me. Oh, jeez. Okay. No, the fiance thing, I think he meant. But And then that just further explains the science of, there being one landmass and one particular group of people. And as with other things, people branch off and migrate and they want to create their own thing. And just like how they group off, right? So if you think about the three most popular, we mentioned Mexico, the three most popular places to find pyramids, Mexico being one, Egypt being one, and Peru being the other. All three of them had a commonality, which was their math, their understanding of the sun and the planets. And well, I'm not naming just three, but three that pop out into my head, and how they built their civilizations. So I was always fascinated with Egyptian culture and need to go to Mexico. And I still want to go to Egypt one day just to see it for myself. And, I do like to travel. I will say, side note, I don't like being on a plane, but I like getting there. I am one of them people that's like, yay, let me get off, because I'm happy to be there and happy to come back. I just don't like the in-between, getting on the plane and whatnot. But
well, my dream, like media dream, is just like to get an RV and we travel to the United States first. Like we really need to like see the United States first and then have to go. But because with the boys, I wouldn't want to travel on a plane. I don't want to get on my on and off and all these journeys. We have the whole little gig and can go.
We do want to get an RV and do that, because the traveling on a plane is just so crazy right now. And it was crazy before, so it's crazy now. RV would be cool, totally cool. We went to Colorado because that's where my cousin and my aunt live. And oh my God, it's beautiful there. That's another breathtaking place. I mean, we were in Colorado Springs, but just the mountains was magical. Just looking at the mountains and wow.
Hold on, this dog doing a little too much barking. Hold on.
So me too, Frugal. And me and my husband have been talking. Yeah, I know. There's so many places, especially west, that I've never even been to. And we do like to go places. And I always turn that into a historical or educational trip, even though it may be a vacation. I like to integrate the two because geography is very important. It comes up on Jeopardy all the time. It's always on those tests. So learning about the places that you go and eating the food that you're exposed to over there, just learning to see that memory, learning the memory and keeping the memory. I mean, I think that's so beneficial for kids. Look up the YouTuber Off the Grid with a Kid. Oh, cool. Frugal, that was for you. I love seeing scenery. Yes, I know. Me too. There's a lot of history in Florida as well. Florida being one of the first technical states. You're still on mute, Frugal. Well, when we moved to Florida, I didn't know all the stuff, and I still don't know about Florida, but Florida is very historical. It was owned by the Spaniards and the natives that lived here. There's so many places in Florida that is still named for natives because it was a native state, I guess. There were so many tribes down here as well. Like if you go to St. Augustine, which is on the East Coast, it's by Jacksonville. Oh my God. They have this tower that looks very similar to all Spanish. They call them Moros, which is like the looking tower. It's in Puerto Rico, it's in Havana, Cuba, and I'm sure it's in other countries, but they're all built the same way. I've been to more states.
I bet my friend is from Mexico, and he gave me like this little statue. I was like, this looks so familiar. And then I saw it was somewhere else. I can't remember exactly, but I see that.
Oh yeah. The Coffee and Chit Chat said to look up Off the Grid with a Kid.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
So
when I went to Florida, like, I didn't even realize before I was there, because I was there for months, because I was there with my job doing training a class, and they have the casinos, the Native American casinos, and I was like, oh my goodness, I am home. This is where I'm retiring.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, I'm lit.
Well, Connecticut, which I used to live, has two major casinos that are Native owned, Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods, and they are huge and they're beautiful.
Canada has casinos too, but it was,
I'm gonna write it down for her. Okay. Off the grid.
Write it down. Yes, ma'am. I Captain. We're gonna be on the road again. I can't wait to get on the road.
I would love to do that.
It will be lit.
Dana said, I have always felt the need to see El Salvador. Ooh,
cool.
I'm so glad I did stop by. Both of you ladies are lovely. Thank you so much, Teresa. I may not know all of you well. Oh, thank you. I love when people stop by and love when they do, because you never know what you're going to get. Because I'm one busy mama, and that's Frugal Mama of Boys. So you never know what you're going to get. Like, really, it's just we're busy. So we just be throwing stuff all at the same time. So I appreciate that. Don't forget to go check out Frugal Mama if you haven't already.
Coffee Chit said she hates casinos because she's from Louisiana. I bet that's why.
Oh, really? She said, thank you so much. See, one busy mama is my YouTube sis. You've been to 5 countries? I've probably been to more than 5. You probably have too. You named off a few already.
I've been to a few, but I haven't been to enough. I can always go again.
Before this pandemic hit, Ireland was our next destination, and I'm so mad because it's way further from Florida, but we were in the Connecticut area, so it would have been just straight across the ocean.
But that's okay, because it made it, it's right time.
Woo, yeah, Frugal is about to, my grandmother used to love the casinos in Mississippi. She said she used to go to Biloxi all the time. When I used to
I've been there too.
When I used to go to her house in the summer, she'd be gone for the whole weekend, just at least one weekend a month. And I was there for the summer. And I was like, Grandma, can I go with you? And she's like, nah, baby, I'm going to Biloxi. And I'm like, what is that? And she's like, it's a casino. I was like, oh, dang. Because I used to go wherever she went. Make that sense. Yeah, so I've been to France, Spain, Italy, Jamaica. It's already past 5. Puerto Rico, Cuba. Shoot, if you're in Florida and you don't travel, I don't know what's wrong with you.
What's wrong
Mexico, with you? Come on, it's like 30 minutes. Cuba's 30 minutes from Tampa, so
yes, right there.
Young at heart.
Take advantage of it.
And I just like exploring, because
I do too.
I guess growing up too, because the state's culture is not one necessarily, like everybody here is a mix of a bunch of things. So like if you go to one country, it's one section, because not all of the country is the same way. But like if you go to Italy and you go to a certain region, they do things differently than maybe in the north of Italy. And it's just cool to check it out. Terry said France, Holland, Portugal, Ireland, and oh, that's so nice. I wanted to go to Portugal too, because I think something is legal in Portugal that's just crazy. Anyway, but I like tasting the food.
Yes.
I mean, I don't eat meat, but still,
Yeah. I don't do a lot of meat either, but.
Coffee tastes different in each country too.
Exactly. And I just really love to, I want to, I'm telling you, I even can get a tiny house on wheel and move but anyway.
Hey, Barbie Jean's in Texas too.
Hi.
So we've been talking about 23andMe. We kind of digressed into exploring other places and whatnot, but when
it kind of ties in a little bit.
She said, when COVID leaves, we will all have to. I know, a meet and greet collab with Busy Mama Frugal. What part of the world are you, Busy Mama? Oh, Florida, Mexico. Oh yeah. So I do like the traveling aspect. And while you were gone, I said I do make all of my trips, even if it's a weekend getaway. I make it into an educational thing for the kids, and they used to hate it. But now they're like, oh my God, she was right. Oh my God. Brittany has the best coffee. I heard that too. So I know I really, if you got to go, we could wrap it up.
No, that's what I'm.
That's right, Barbara. You had to cancel 4 trips. I remember when I first got on with Barbara Jean. I think she was planning to go, I know, to Europe, but I don't want to say the country because now I forget. But her and her daughter were going to go, and she had to cancel. Yeah, we had to cancel Ireland. I mean, if you're lucky enough to be able to travel internationally, it's amazing.
Then you have to quarantine like 14 days, like.
Well, now, yeah, shoot, I'm not doing all that. Yeah, but if you can travel within the United States, there are amazing places to still go and visit and explore without getting, wrapped up into some COVID-ness. And like I was saying, the West, I've never been to California. I've been to Vegas once. France, Greece, Mexico, Oklahoma. See, yeah, look, there you go. It was Greece because I wanted to go to Greece too. It's cheaper to go. Well, not now, but when I was planning, it was cheaper to go to Greece than it was to go to Hawaii.
Really?
Yep. Because Hawaii was one of the places I wanted to go. And
I've been to Hawaii. I was like, it's nice. I mean,
hey, Shay.
I like the restaurants more than anything. The food is so freaking delicious. And we got to stay on the Air Force, in the Air Force hotel, because I was going with my one of my, military friends.
Coffee said, okay, I'll need the list of places that can be one of your lives. I know. I can do that. We can do that. I do.
Write it down, Busy Mama, because you've been on to the next stop. That is a great idea. I would like to visit Alaska as well.
Yeah. I don't like the cold, but
I don't like the cold either. But you know how they just dip in there and then come up. And then I'm supposed to go to Chicago with, in my element with Neela this summer. I'm telling you, I'm going to Chicago and I'm going to learn to swim because I gotta face it. And then I'm gonna be with a with an expert too.
Bye, Teresa. Oh yes, David Chauncey. That's right.
Yeah.
Santorini and Paris. I did go to Paris before this whole thing happened. I need to do interesting.
Hold on 1 second. This dog barking.
I need to do some silent streams while I work, coffee and chit chat. So I understand. Thank you, Teresa, for coming. Santorini is one of the islands right off of Greece that looks so magical, like the white backdrop with the blue ocean. Oh my gosh. Yes, love both of your personalities and your caring. Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. I hope you had a good time. I hope to see you again. Amazing. If I return home there. Oh yeah, definitely. And it costs money too, Celestial. And, one day we'll get back to the way that it was, or at least as close as possible so we can travel without all the hubbub. So, but for now, we can dream and talk about places that we've been and live in those moments like we were talking about in the beginning, Zen, and finding that moment of meditation and relaxation, and all of that comes into play as well. I'm really are you really a silent stream? It really is it is a thing, Dana. It's really a thing. But I'm so glad that we did the 23andMe because I did mine. I encouraged one of my other friends to do hers, who is also biracial, and her results were astounding for her. And I know you want to go, Celestial. So while we all have differences, and those differences are amazing, though, we can all have some commonalities that maybe we didn't even realize. Like you know, maybe we didn't know about one another. And if we start focusing on all the things that we have in common, we can get rid of all the things that were different, because we can't all be the same. Hey, masked vegan, how are you? Because that would be boring, really.
Exactly. Like who would like that life?
Predictable, and that's like that utopian vision that they had in some of the movies where everybody wears the white suit and and that's boring.
And I think a lot of media like perpetuates those ideas, like with Desperate Housewives. I'm like, oh gosh, come on now.
The name of the test was 23andMe that me and Frugal, we did it separately. We're just comparing our results. Yes, we can learn so much from each other. And really it makes you kind of like go back a little bit, like, oh, why am I so interested in this? Or why do I like this? Or why do I gravitate towards this certain music or anything, really? And a lot of it is in our DNA. A lot of it is in our genes and who we are and who our people were. So like, I like potatoes, but you know.
There might be that little part of our Irish. I love potatoes. I'm like, hey, oh
Sylvia.
God.
Thank you for coming, Sylvia. I appreciate you. But potatoes are like the poor person's food, you know? It grows just in the ground. You could do anything with a potato.
Anything.
Don't get me started. We're the potato people, so they can sponsor this.
Right. No, that's right.
Did you know there's over 200 varieties of potatoes in Peru? And Peru,
why did you know that?
And Peru is where the potato came from. So stop it with Idaho.
I know. Give Peru the credit that it deserves.
But over 200. Okay. And they are the most, I haven't had 200, but they are the most delicious potatoes. They even have these little baby potatoes like this, and they just melt in your mouth. So they give, I don't know what they're called. I'd have to ask him. But so there's this other potato that you like mush it and it turns into powder, and they give that to the babies.
What?
I'm telling you, when I was there, I was like, holy.
Wait a minute, does this grow naturally or they done genetically modified some stuff?
There's nothing genetically modified.
Because it sounds like unbelievable. I'm gonna have to check out this powder turning potato.
Yep, I can eat a potato every day. Hold on. Peruvian.
Me too, Coffee Chit Chat. Them cards. You want to get a flat belly, you better back away from
it. You can get a sweet potato. Get that sweet potato.
Yeah, eat the sweet potato, but
you can put some
the potatoes that really taste good. I do like sweet potatoes though.
It's called I don't know if this is the right one.
Mm-hmm. But tell us more.
Okay, so in Peru, anyway, they have this plate. Okay, this plate of food. It's called, I'll say it slow. My daughter-in-law is half Mexican and half Vietnamese. Oh, that is so awesome.
Yes.
Bubble and squeak is one of the things you can do with a potato. Add cabbage, carrots, and onions. Oh, that sounds delicious. I love cabbage. So there's a plate of potatoes, right, with this yellow sauce. It's called papa la huancaina. That's how you say it. So it's just a potato, papa, potato, and la huancaina is the creamy sauce, and it's just that. It's just sliced up boiled potato with this creamy sauce. Oh my God, it's amazing because it's like spicy. I'm hot and fluffy and proud. Oh my gosh.
Hey, yes. All I want to do is be healthy. I want to live. When I say I want my mind to operate clearly, I want my heart to be able to be donated once I want my body to be healthy enough to be donated to help somebody else live when I'm no longer in this physical world. That's
the wellness part of the 23andMe.
Exactly. And that's what's important for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to, my young, and I'm a little bit older parent, and I want to be able to provide them with a quality of life that would be memorable and have him doing less therapy sessions.
Oh, sure. Yes.
but because they say, like they say, it's easier to nourish them now than to have them recovering from childhood, all this childhood trauma from, all later in life. But I mean, I really feel I didn't know I had any childhood trauma. I thought my life was great, and I still do when I was growing up. And forget what the world had to say. You know what I'm saying? I just think as you get older, you have to learn to appreciate the life that you have. Because every parent try to go and make their kids' life even better. But I just think that I don't know. But a lot of times we look back at it at the moment, be like, man, I wish this person was my, you get mad. I wish this person, I wish so-and-so mom was my mom or my so-and-so, because it's a different thing. But, and when you get older, you have and learn about the importance of gratitude. It really changes your life. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But health is important to me.
Yeah, I was underweight for a long time. I wanted to gain weight so bad. What is this?
It is
it looks like what do they call it? A tabla?
No, it is called blue Kaisei. Wait a minute, I can't even think of it. Don't ask me right now. But anyway, it was half done. No, I can tell you, I just can't think of it right now because I was thinking about kyanite. And blue kyanite. And thing dealing with blue is about the heart. And
that's good. That explains.
Exactly. And because I always want, like, this is your giving hand and this is your receiving hand. So if you see anything on your left hand, they're saying that this is what I want to receive, is closest to your heart or whatever. Yes. And I always want to give out love. I don't want to ever pray anything other than what would radiate or would magnify the God in me. Not that I'm saying I'm a God, but I feel like when we had that brother, it just I always want that to be first, and then I usually have crystals all up and down this. And different colors that mean things to me, and that's why I was like so intrigued. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Anyway. Coffee and Chit Chat says she sells those in her spiritual store. Celestial said she wants to donate her body to medical science, and Lorna said that's what her dad did. Mm-hmm. Not sure if they have any of those specific ones left. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
And like my family is kind of, like, we you leave here with everything you had. So that's why it's important to make sure you like put your wishes in place. Because my cousin's like, okay, whatever you want to do, even if I don't want to agree. So that's why it's important to have these conversations. Like,
Dana said, Frugal, I can tell from watching you are a kind and caring person.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my goal. Yeah, it's my goal to spread.
This is why we have these conversations. First of all, maybe I'm not paying attention, but I haven't seen anybody having conversations about tests like these on any of the channels that I watch. Maybe there are, but not on the ones I watch. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And we've been talking about 23andMe and how we both did our test, and we do have some similarities, and how we just have things in common in general. I only watch positive people. That's right. So I appreciate everybody for coming. We have like 15 more minutes to the 2-hour mark. I do want to reiterate the fact that if you haven't go to check out Frugal Mama of Boys, please do so. She is one of my featured channels for a reason, as well as Reading and Retail, and right now A Southern Belle's Journey, because these are amazing people and we all need to share the love.
Say hello. So they got a photo, video bomb.
I know. Mine will be here, I'm sure, at some point.
So get out.
But my wife says she loves your earrings. Oh, Frugal, that's for you. The mask.
Thank you. Bye. Chloe, LJ, get
we were talking about the earrings earlier.
Yes, my good girlfriend Jeanette. She's on Instagram. She made these for me, and I just love them. I love hand pieces. That's why I was like, Huffy, how do we're gonna have to know about?
Oh, Terry said.
close this door.
Oh, it's echoing. Oh, okay. Terry said there's one scripture in most religions that priests deny, that is, we all have a piece of God or goddess within us, and what happens in the one affects the other. Oh, that is true for humanity, really.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I was just embarking on a conversation with someone the other night, or I was listening. I kind of wasn't involved in the conversation, and they were talking about we all have feminine and masculine energies in us, and I was just like, of course, you know, and it just depends on, and I think that's why a lot of people don't accept people as they are, because we're like, okay, you're not like me. But instead of looking at what we're not like, and I think that's part of this conversation, I'm gonna recap back into it. It's important to realize the things that we have in common. You know what I mean? And because it could be with male or female. My bad.
And no, it's fine. And in the genetic and that's the medical aspect of it, is that we all carry at least an X. And if you're a woman, you have 2 X's, which I think is better, but you know. And then if you're a male, you have an X and a Y. And that's really because the Y determines if you're a male. And that is the male's contribution, is their DNA and their Y chromosome. If they're going to give you a boy, they give you the Y. If not, they give you their X. And not their X, but their X.
Yeah, right.
And so, and those traits are just attached to those chromosomes. So, you know, like how you look at kids and you're like, man, you remind me just like your dad. You remind me just like your mom, because they're carrying around that X or that Y, you know? And sometimes, like even in adopted children, they come to find out, because this is actually relative, and I'm not adopted, but I didn't grow up with my dad. I grew up with my mom and my stepfather's family, which is how I know that girl. So like my brother and sister grew up with my dad and their mom. And so they have like a combination personality. And so when I really got to know my dad, when I got older, like we like the same gummy bears, we like the same, you know, like we just do certain, hey Joe, we just do certain things that are like each other, but I couldn't have learned that from him because I wasn't around him. But it's that Y that he donated, you know.
Exactly, that little piece of Y, that little piece of Y.
So, oh yes, my kids must be full of X. They act like dad, nothing like me. Oh shoot. And then there's just things that, whether you like it or not, that's not genetic. It's because they're around you, mannerisms and things, because that's what we emulate.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. And you know what's so funny is because I have a degree in psychology, and it always talk about twin studies, especially twins who were born apart. Like, and they discover, they both smokers, or they both this, or whatever it is. And then they think about, okay, well, what are some things that they're different on? Like one could be college educated, another one, you know, whatever. And that's a lot of being around your your social setting, you know, a lot of things. But it's so amazing that some of those things are based on nurture versus nature, you know, and the combination is what makes us unique. Everybody unique.
Right.
Hey.
That's right. And yeah, I mean, a lot of that is useful information, because sometimes those studies in particular, especially like they were in the womb together, twins, and so their relationship with each other and their non-relationship, especially if they were separated at birth and then grew up differently, but then once they meet each other, realize that they have so much in common. Oh no, you will not make me be around them a second more. You're so funny. Coffee and chit chat. So twins are just amazing, or even triplets or quadruplets, like just their habits, because a lot of it is genetic information, and you just don't even realize. So I thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. It has been so much fun. Hey, little one.
He really want to be on camera. See, they be doing so much. They want to be on camera. Mama, can we go live? I be like, oh my God, I'm creating some monsters.
That's right, Celestial. You do have a twin.
Oh, that is so cool.
I always wanted twin girls, specifically twin girls. And I didn't get them, but I think it's just so. Actually, my daughter and I digress on so many things, right? Like my daughter was supposed to be a twin, and I only found out when she was born because there were 2 placentas, and my whole pregnancy I was bleeding and I couldn't figure it out. Thank you, Bethany, for yeah, Dana, thank you for coming, and I'm glad you went to go check her out. And Coffee and Chit Chat is a twin.
Coffee and Chit Chat is a twin too.
Awesome. I literally they can read each other's minds. And you never so it would have been fun if my daughter would have actually had her twin. I'm a grandma of twin girls. Oh, that's so cool. Maybe I'll get it on that round, I know my daughter's like, I think it was last year. She's like, she's 13. She's like, when I have kids, they're never going over your house. You so mean. And now she's like, actually, they're going to come over all the time.
I know.
She's like, yeah, because we go places. I'm like, yeah, but you ain't going. They can come. But yeah, it's really crazy how genetics and all of these things play a role.
Exactly.
And if we just tap into a little bit of it, because cultures outside of this country are so fascinating, and it doesn't mean that you have to be Chinese or that you have to be Italian or whatever, but their inspiration and how they do things, you can manipulate that into your lifestyle and pass it on to your kids, and especially if they're great things. Come on. Yes. Hey, Julia. Thank you.
If it's something that's going to benefit you and help you live a better, more productive, positive life, yes, and you're not doing harm to anybody else, I think that's what's important. And you need to remember that thing that the one I did. I said sometimes you have to encourage yourself, and you got to find tools, mechanism, whatever that is going to help you. Yep. And it may just be just quiet or a walk or nature. If we use all of our senses, our touch, our vision, our sound, and just really look at the wind, just feel the wind or feel some water and connect with the earth.
That's why I used to do Pilates a lot back in the day, and yoga, and yoga is really about all of that breathing and meditating and focusing, and it's really beneficial. You don't have to be twisting and turning into all these positions. I went to a few classes where they're like, I don't care if you just lay on the floor. Just close your eyes and, take it all in. And it really is beneficial. Like I said, if you live in a city or somewhere where you can drive to and just sit and watch and listen, and it's very relaxing. Like we go down the street because in Florida, there's little gator ponds everywhere. But we just go right down the street and we just watch the pond and see if the turtles pop up or the alligators, which, they don't be popping up, but there's birds and all kinds of things that you can look at. And it's really good for kids too, to focus, taking in that fresh air, especially in this
getting away from technology. Yeah.
Oh, I'm all about that. It's funny because my daughter does YouTube too, and I'm amazed when she remembers everything that I taught her. Oh, she was paying attention. I know. I'm going to do that one too, because I be telling them stuff when we go on road trips, and I'm like, you got to pay attention to this, listen to this, guys, or the architecture. When we went to Louisiana, what's the place? Help me.
New Orleans?
Yes. Oh my God. When we went to New Orleans, I get into architecture. So we walked past where they do Mardi Gras. I can't remember the name of the streets right now.
Bourbon.
Yes, Bourbon Street. And there's certain housing types. And I was just like, oh guys, let's just look at the architecture. Look at the stone pattern. Look at how they built this. And it's just specific to this area. And
Oh,
it's
yes.
just so crazy.
And you know what I love? Like even when I went to like DC
That's
and looking
right.
at the houses in Maryland and San Francisco, and you know, like you see it on TV, but when you see it in person, oh my God!
Yes.
Like in like Pennsylvania, I want to like really see because you know that's like the, you know, the more historic kind of places. Like I want to just really like enjoy it, like really appreciate it. Like now I have appreciation. When I was trying to fall, this flipping some corners, but but like in New Orleans, you can just see how like you can just feel the spirit of all of that. And then
Coffee
even
and Chit
you
Chat
see them on the
session.
balcony. Oh my God! Imagine just like in the 1800s and stuff
Right.
like that.
So talking about architecture. So the French, and correct me if I'm wrong, Coffee and Chit Chat, because she says she was born and raised there. So the French went to that specific area, Louisiana, New Orleans, because they do speak some French, the Creole, and like the architecture with the balconies is very French and very European style. Yeah, I like historical places. Hey, Jen Jackson, thanks for coming. And you can see that in Florida too. You can see the Spaniard integration in the construction and the place settings. Like they had specific ways to build along, you know, the waterways, or it's just beautiful. Architecture is beautiful, and in different time periods too. Because like when you go to France, and I only went to Paris, so I can only talk about that. Bye, Celestio. Thank you so much. And there's some French mixed with native in the Bayou area.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that they brought from the Canadian natives. Anyway, so in Paris, like the way that they have their architecture and their, it's very specific to that area, and they brought it over there. It's just so pretty with the balcony. Balconies.
That's why they call it like the French quarters. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Jen. Oh, everybody's saying hi. I think it's because of the water. People, well, and I do tell my kids that most civilizations built on water, because obviously that is your access point. Everybody needs water to cook, to drink, to harvest and things. So most of the places are built on water. And it was for that visual of seeing who's coming and going, right?
Yeah.
And bringing in goods and trading and things like that, like Coffee and Chit Chat is saying. But it's just beautiful to see in person and touching it and actually walking on the cobblestone streets and just getting the car washed. And so the architecture in Boston is very different from like the architecture in New York City, where and I mean like the brownstones versus, I forget what they call them in Boston, but the masonry is amazing too, because they built on hills, they built on cliffs, they built on, you know, like, and now it's just straight right down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
It is.
But what y'all have to see are the leaves. What?
Oh, as they turn, as the seasons turn.
Oh, okay. There used to be old.
Oh, the levees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one who, oh my, I can't even imagine trying to hold, building something to hold a massive amount of water.
Okay. We went on the trolleys. That's what it was in New Orleans, the trolley system that still runs. It's so cool too.
And you know, and they say in New York, they're trying to get rid of the horse-drawn carriages and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, can you just imagine? I know, like that's, but you know how people say about the horses, how they treated or whatever, but they seem like they get good treatment, but
we have a historical town by us. The roads brick. The ditches are made from rocks. Oh yeah, by the river. Yes, when they have the river.
Where
Wow,
is she?
I love that.
I know, right? Actual.
Oh, streetcars. That's what you guys call it. Streetcars. We call it trolley up north. Yeah, in Connecticut you can see a lot of old towns. Oh my God, I was showing the kids. There's a few towns, Glastonbury, that I can think of off the top of my head, Rocky Hill, that still have those rock walls where like the old settlers used to live. It's crazy busy, but I'm glad to get it handled. Oh, I know. We all need to take a piece of time and do something. She said Missouri. Ooh.
That's where she's from. She lives there.
And Frugal, have you
Oh
ever
yeah, I've
been
been
to
to
Galveston?
I've never been to Galveston and been to. It's amazing how Galveston is so much different than South Padre. I mean, I guess it's not amazing. I mean, it's two different places, but you know, it's just. I used to live in. Oh, wow.
See?
I know she lived a lot of places. I've only actually lived here. I've traveled many places, but I've only actually lived here. I think it'd be nice to live somewhere else, and I will eventually, of course.
Well, some people never leave.
No, I got to get up out of here.
Nope.
I want to actually live somewhere for at least like a year to experience the real seasons. Like everything just kind of run together in Texas. Everything just, you know, before you know it, like it feels like spring today, and it's not even spring today. So
I've never been to Missouri or Texas.
I've been to Missouri. I went to basic training in Missouri. They call it Fort Lost in the Wood at Fort Leonard Wood. Oh, I went to basic training there. Oh my goodness! And I went to
Kansas City.
I went to Kansas City with the military too. Oh my God. Ooh,
well, the military will take you places.
Yes, exactly. And it lets you know, and it exposes you to people from different places. I think like every child, like if they don't want to go to college or feel lost or whatever, the military is a good place to take the opportunity to find yourself. May seem weird, but it exposes you to so many different cultures and different people and traditions and discipline and structure. So yeah.
That's true. I agree with that. I didn't go, but I wish I would have known to go. But heck, by now I would have been a doctor. I absolutely love Overland Park. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had the Four Seasons up north, and to be honest, I don't really care.
It's overrated.
I do not like the cold. Anything less than 60.
Look at this dark skin, girl. This dark skin ain't meant to be in the cold. It's supposed to be some sunshine. We need some sunshine in my life. This nothing to be popping and drawn.
We need vitamin D, and that is
exactly. That's why I love being out, but I don't like to stink. That's why I don't like too much like outside. So you know, it's all about balance. But
vitamin D is only outside. I mean, you could take the pills, but it's outside. Yeah. Coffee. Yeah. I live in the middle of the state. Okay. So we're at that 2-hour mark.
Okay,
which is awesome for the first.
It was a great discussion, and we mainly stayed on topic. Back to the DNA.
I would love to only have. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All year round.
The Sunshine State.
Julie. Summer here is like 100,000 degrees.
Oh no, I can't do that.
It is hot. Like the sun is just like right here,
right there in your face.
Yeah, I mean, but like like a summer, but you know, with every summer, then you think hurricane season. If it's like a tropical place, you know, like I just felt so sorry for the people of Puerto Rico going through those storms, and you know, and all of the other places that have been affected, because you know it's got to come. The world, everything has to rotate around. So
the seasons. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Coffee and Chit Chat and
thank you,
Dana. Yeah, I know the humidity will get everybody, but luckily this season for Florida has lasted very long. Winter has lasted very long. It started kind of like in September, and I'm happy about that. But I'll take what I can get. Simply you. After Canada and upstate New York, Florida is good for me. Oh, see, when you get enough of the cold.
Definitely.
I'm
Florida
driving
good.
for hurricanes. Yeah.
Because Canada sure does get cold. And New York. And I was like, when I went to Chicago and I could see
She went through Katrina.
God. Anyway, all right.
So we're
See,
gonna
I'm
wrap
done.
it up. Let me
We
know.
can be talking for hours. Yes, we're gonna wrap up.
Let me know in the comments after the lives go up any further suggestions. Do you think this was a great conversation? Do you think we should do an amendment to this 23andMe? And then because I'm all about the conversations and stuff and introducing people to other people, because it's just, we can all share and collaborate like this on so many different things. This just happens to be one topic.
We need to have a conversation with Coffee and Chit Chat. She does the whole spiritual store and biracial as well.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Oh my goodness.
So I've seen in the chat. I mean, there's so many people who've given their their own experience.
Yes,
which is amazing.
It's so intriguing. So much.
Thank you so much, everybody who came. There will be more, I'm sure. And clearly, as a busy mama, I'm doing tons of things: painting, makeup, unboxings, all kinds of things. But I really want to emphasize Frugal Mama of Boys. She's been amazing to join today. So please go check her out. Oh, you missed the. Oh, yeah, go back and replay. Shoot, I love that too. And don't let it stop there. Don't let it stop. Yeah. Oh, I know. Coffee and Chit Chat. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But I appreciate everybody for coming. Frugal Mama of Boys, her link is always in my description, and it's one of the featured channels. So you can just click on it, take you right there. In case you have a hard time typing it in. But I want everybody to enjoy the rest of their Sunday, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You all too. I enjoy it. Well, send me the link, Coffee and Chit Chat, to my Instagram. We need to have some kind of conversation. Bye, y'all.
Bye.